Milk has long been touted for its bone-building benefits, but does the research actually support the idea that milk makes bones stronger? In this video, we'll explore the truth about milk and bone health, weighing the evidence on both sides. You might be surprised to learn that the association between milk and strong bones isn't as clear-cut as we've been led to believe. For generations, we've been told that milk builds strong bones thanks to its calcium. And it's true that the calcium in milk is readily absorbed by the body. But many other foods also provide calcium our bodies can use, like leafy greens, beans, nuts, seeds, and seafood. And plenty of cultures around the world don't consume much dairy at all, yet still have very strong bones. The truth is, bone health is multifactorial. Yes, calcium is important for bones, and milk contains a lot of it, but focusing solely on calcium intake is an outdated and incomplete approach. Your bones require far more to stay strong and fracture-free as you age. Recent research makes clear that calcium is just one piece of the bone health puzzle. Vitamin D levels, vitamin K intake, magnesium and phosphorus balance, as well as exercise and antioxidant intake all powerfully influence bone density and fracture rates. Studies comparing dairy intake to bone health have found mixed and inconclusive results. For example, a 12-year Harvard study on over 72,000 women found no link between milk consumption and risk of bone fractures. A large Australian study of midlife women found dairy wasn't protective against bone fractures. Meat intake actually showed a stronger correlation. Then a 2021 analysis of over 200,000 adults found dairy increased hip fracture risk. In this study, higher milk intake actually correlated with more fractures. Yet some studies still do suggest a possible benefit, especially when combined with low-fat and vitamin D fortified milk products, but the benefits appear quite small, and associations don't always equal causation. Researchers increasingly believe that the countries with the highest dairy intake actually have the highest rates of osteoporosis, so this really questions milk's protective abilities. They also wonder if any potential positive link between milk and bone density may have more to do with the growth factors in the milk that stimulate bone building, the growth factors and hormones naturally found in milk instead of the calcium in the milk itself helping build strong bones. Getting sufficient protein, magnesium, phosphorus, and vitamins D and K are equally, if not more important for maintaining strong bones as you age. Now you might be wondering at this point, if not from milk, where do vegans and those avoiding dairy get their bone-building calcium? While milk does contain a readily absorbed form of calcium, many plant-based foods are also excellent sources of calcium. For example, 100 grams of cooked kale provides 150 milligrams of calcium. 100 grams of cooked broccoli provides 47 milligrams of calcium. 1 cup of cooked navy beans provides 127 milligrams, and 1 cup of orange juice fortified with calcium provides 300 milligrams. As you can see, it's very possible to meet calcium needs on a dairy-free diet by regularly consuming these plant sources of calcium. Variety is key to ensure adequate intake. Now here's where the story gets a little bit more interesting. The countries with the lowest rates of osteoporosis and bone fractures actually have lower calcium intake from both dairy and plant foods. This questions the focus on calcium quantity alone. Now let's take a quick look at the countries that have relatively low dairy intake, but also low rates of osteoporosis and bone fractures. First up, we have Japan. Traditionally, the Japanese diet is quite low in dairy products. Studies show the fracture incident rate in Japan is about half that of the United States. Their diet is rich in bone-healthy soy foods, fish, and green tea. Then we have China. Chinese populations on average consume very little dairy, obtaining only 3% of their dietary calcium from milk products. Yet China has lower fracture rates than Western nations. Again, they have a diet high in plant foods that support bone health. Next up, we have India. Lactose intolerance is very common in India, so dairy is not widely consumed. But research shows Indian women have exceptionally strong bones despite a relatively low calcium intake around 400 milligrams per day. Their plant-rich diets provide many protective nutrients. In Africa, we have the country of Nigeria. One study found that rural Nigerian women actually get less than 200 milligrams of dietary calcium daily, mostly from small fish bones versus milk. Yet osteoporosis rates are quite low, which researchers mostly attribute to the high physical activity levels in that country. In Peru, the traditional Peruvian diet is very low in dairy. A study showed women in rural Peru have higher bone mass compared to American women, despite only 1/3 of the calcium intake. They consume antioxidant-rich foods that help their bones. The overall takeaway is that cultures consuming little to no dairy products but abundant amounts of bone-supporting plant foods, healthy fats, protein, and antioxidants tend to have lower fracture rates than dairy-centric Western nations. There are a few reasons calcium intake doesn't fully predict bone health. The form of calcium you eat actually matters. Plant sources contain antioxidants and prebiotics that enhance absorption and utilization versus dairy calcium. Vitamin D increases calcium absorption in the gut. Just 15 minutes of midday sun provides ample vitamin D. Supplements are the other option for people who live in areas of countries without a lot of sun. Magnesium balances calcium. Many people eating calcium-rich diets are low in magnesium, which can be acquired through beans, nuts, seeds, leafy greens, and supplements. And weight-bearing exercise is also crucial to activate osteoblasts, which are the cells that build bone. Resistance training is exceptionally helpful for maintaining and building bone density. Inflammation and oxidative stress in the body hinder vitamin K-dependent proteins that insert calcium into bone. An anti-inflammatory diet high in fresh produce is able to combat this. Here are some science-based tips for protecting your bones as you age. Perform weight-bearing exercises like walking, dancing, jogging, and resistance training for at least 30 minutes per day. Spend 10 to 15 minutes outside daily with sunscreen to promote vitamin D production and calcium absorption. Eat plenty of antioxidant-rich fruits and vegetables which reduce bone-damaging oxidative stress. Consume extra virgin olive oil and oily fish for anti-inflammatory omega-3 fats that benefit bone cells. Eat beans, nuts, seeds, and whole grains daily as great sources of bone-building magnesium, zinc, and phosphorus. Consider supplementing with calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D to help meet increased needs from aging. Enjoy calcium-rich tofu, leafy greens, broccoli, figs, sesame seeds, and fortified plant milks as dairy-free calcium sources. Limit sodium, processed foods, sodas, excessive protein, and caffeine, which can deplete calcium stores. Don't smoke and keep alcohol moderate, as smoking and high alcohol impair calcium absorption. Focusing on the whole picture of diet, exercise, and lifestyle is the key takeaway for nurturing strong bones at any age. Relying on calcium alone is likely insufficient. Make vegetables, healthy fats, regular activity, and sensible sunshine exposure your allies for a fracture-free future. I hope this video shed some surprising light on the evidence behind dairy and bone health. Let me know in the comments if you have any other questions, and we'll see you next time.